Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a spotlight on Richard and Alice. This is a game that's been out for, I believe, a couple years now. But it just recently came onto Steam. I was provided with a copy of it. I'd actually never heard of it until a few months ago, I guess. And I never really thought anything of it and just kind of let it fall by the wayside. But it's interesting. It is I think I would rather call it a visual novel, but it's a point-and-click adventure game. But it has a really nice story. Well, maybe nice isn't so much. It's a very well-written story. It's a very interesting story. And I am thoroughly intrigued by it. So let's hop in here. I'm gonna just start a whole new game here. And as you can see, here are your controls. Pretty simple, walk, interact, dialogue, look at world, examine inventory item. Simple as can be. So there's no super long cutscenes, but there's a lot of this. A lot of reading is involved in this, so if you're not one for reading in games, this is not the game for you. But if you enjoy a good story and a visual story, this is definitely worth a look. So right here, this is the beginning of a disaster that's hitting the world. So I'm not going to give much time to read this. I'm not going to actually read it. But essentially, something bad is happening, and the world will never be the same. And there you go. Flash forward to possibly a couple years, possibly a couple months. I'm giving away as little as possible. As you can see, made by Owl Cave Games. And one of those guys is the lead writer for Starbound. So if you're familiar with Starbound, he was one of the guys who created this game, one of two. So let's get in here. And this is where most of the game takes place. And right now, this is the main character right here. He is watching a nature show and complaining about it, because that's apparently all they show. Huh? And apparently there's somebody in the opposite cell. I'm sure you can guess his name based on the title. And the person in the opposite cell is, of course, the other name. Richard and Alice. So essentially what this story is it's a couple different stories. It's what's going on here. So these two are in prison for various reasons. Two people, two reasons. Not going to get into it. And she is telling him throughout the majority of it, her story, how she got here. How she got to where she is. So you've got what's happening in here, because events are occurring within this jail cell area, this prison. And you've also got the flashback moments. We probably won't get to one of the flashback moments, but let's talk to Richard. Last time I talked to Alice, and I'm just going to skip through this. And so far, it's pretty much going the same way as it went the last time. Just started with him talking. So, you have all sorts of different things. Let's see if we can get through this dialogue fairly quickly. It is very wordy. There is a lot of words. There we go. Okay, so we can now move around within our cell. And you can click on things. And he doesn't want to sit there. You can turn on the TV, except he doesn't want to. We've got the computer, which you know, what prisoner has a computer and I need my login stick? And what do you know? I knew where the login stick was. Surprise. So you can grab things, you know, bedtime, grab your sheets. These are just spare sheets. You can grab your picture here. And you can access your computer, which this computer, come on, allows you to do, oh, right, ha, you've got to actually put the login stick in, derp. Yeah, point and clicks, you gotta do everything. So you've got your notices and your ability to submit a ticket. So if something goes wrong in your cell, you can submit a ticket and they'll come and look at it. So we're not going to do anything there. So what Alice wants right now is to see my family. So we're going to tie the bed sheets together like we did and throw them out into the hall. Ta-da! And boop. Put the picture on, and Alice can now pull it to her. So she's gonna take a look at your family, possibly murder them, whatever. Nah. It's nothing, you know, you've got another criminal in there. You just show them your family, no problem at all. Anyway, if I had to have a complaint, it's this bar on the right-hand side that is always there. I wish it had a background, because even down here, down at the lower part, you can still click on it. And if you're trying to get to, say, the edge of a map, it's, you'll click on it. Chances are you'll click on it, because you have to click, like, here instead of, you know, the actual edge. It's minor. Another one that kind of bothers me a bit more than that one is it's in the areas where you're looking for something and wandering around, they're really big. Really big and very few hints on precisely where to go. So here we are in a flashback moment. Those are pretty much it. Like, the art style is really, really nice. I really, really like it. I don't know who did the drawings, who did the art assets or anything for it, but they did a really good job. I like the shading on them is really nice. They're all low poly, or low, they're no poly. They're low pixel, it looks like, but they're very, very styled. It's very, very nice. I love this style. It reminds me of something else, and I cannot put my finger on it. What other game had this kind of style? But otherwise, it's really good. And all the characters are, well, I was going to say lovable, but not necessarily lovable. Like, this guy, he really comes across as a hyper little kid. One thing from my perspective is you can definitely tell the British in it. There are some very, very, what I want to say British slangs. Maybe it's just, you know, North American. We have slightly different words and different ways of pronouncing them. And the way they're written is kind of odd. Let me see. I'm quickly perusing and see if I can come across one that throws me off. No, I think it's later. And I can't think of what it was. It's just, some of them are just a little weird. You understand it, but it's just, they say bloke. You know, it's just, sometimes it throws me off a little. But you can definitely tell that it's very British and not, you know, it's not a North American writer, that's for sure. But otherwise, it is really good. The puzzles in it are not overly difficult. So we've got a key. I actually can't remember what the key is for. It's not for the door, but yeah. Anyway, I'm actually going to end it here because I don't want to go any farther than this. I've already gone way too far. And anyway, I'm going to end it here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely check it out on Steam. Link will be in the description. And we will see you next time.